Breaking and another stunning embarrassment for Gavin Newsom. The chairman of Bed Bath & Beyond announces they will not open any retail stores in California. They quote tweeted this: "After their bankruptcy and closure of every store, like most Americans, we thought Bed Bath & Beyond no longer existed. We wish them well in their efforts to become relevant again as they try to open a second store."
Okay, so Gavin Newsom has decided to hire 2 young whippersnapper press people who look a lot like the Karine Jean-Pierre press pool, like the people she was using in her press office, who look like these, weird hats and strange haircuts and like the Rainbow Coalition. So he's hired 2 of those folks to write his tweets, and here's an example of where it's going. It's turned in, his entire tweet feed has turned into imitations of what might be a Trump tweet. For example.
Okay, at least she's honest about what they're imitating, yeah.
Oh, in all caps. Wow, what an honor. On Mount Rushmore. Thank you, -GCN, with an image of Newsom on Mount Rushmore. Then there's a poster image of Kid Rock. It reads, "Kid Rock wants you to support Gavin Newsom." Captioned on X, "I accept -GCN." Kid Rock, by the way, replied saying, "The only support Gavin Newsom will ever get out of me is from D's nuts." Here's another one. Scott Pressler, who registered, speaking of Republican registrations, who basically turned Pennsylvania red with his voter registration efforts, or got very, very close. He posted a video about it, and Gavin Newsom's office responded saying, "Thank you, Nancy Mace," calling Scott Pressler Nancy.
Ooh, I'm yoinking that one. "We had 10 years of Trump retardation fatigue. These people couldn't handle Newsom doing it for 2 weeks." True.
Nancy Mace, Scott Pressler has very, very long hair. Nancy Mace doesn't, so I don't know. It doesn't really work for me. And then somebody on Fox responded saying, "You're kidding me, right? You're constantly raving about protecting gay people, and now you use your official press office to troll a gay conservative and call him a woman." In response to which the press office replied, "You sound woke."
The Democrats are trying to find their footing, and it's quite embarrassing, actually. I mean, Gavin Newsom, have you seen what he's doing online? And it's like, just take a deep breath. Yep. Don't try to turn the ship 180 degrees, and when they don't know what to do. I have a good idea. Instead of trying to school Donald Trump, talking to the camera about affordability.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's what we need. We need another 2 hours of Democrats talking to the camera about affordability and kitchen table issues. Yes, true. That's actually what they care about. That's what the American people care about. That's what they've shown, right? Over and over and over again.
I think it absolutely has been working in terms of generating attention, which is what he's trying to do, right? Let's take a look right at the @GovPress office followers on X. That's
Jesus. Oh, this is just followers gains. Never mind, for this account.
Of course, where you get those the account where Newsom posts those Trump-style mocking types of tweets. Look at where we were on June 1st. We basically had a clown car for first. Newsom, AOC, Buttigieg, 11%, 10%, 8%. But look at where we are now. Look at this. Look who's jumped up all the way up to 24% chance, about a 1 in 4 chance of getting the nomination. Gavin Newsom. AOC staying pretty steady at 13%.
I still can't believe there's so much talk about 2028. I'm trying to think if in 2020, 2021, were Republicans talking about their nominee as much? I feel like it was around 2022 or 3 when Trump started to pick up more. I don't know. Maybe I just don't remember. It just seems so hyper fixated right now. I don't even know why the we're talking about this. Do people keep forgetting how far away 3 years is? 4 years? It's an unbelievable amount of time to try to make any prediction market on who the will be the nominee 3 years from now.
And then, of course, we have Pete Buttigieg, who has stayed absolutely steady at 8%. So at least at this particular point, the prediction markets are saying, yes, this strategy is paying off. Of course, the key question is, will this actually work when you're trying to votes are being cast and counted?
Sean, thoughts?
Look, I agree with both of them. It's a pretty pathetic field when Gavin Newsom is considered the only tier 1 candidate. That says a lot about the other folks that you're running against. So you combine everything, the message, the mechanics, the candidates, the current leadership. They're in a world of hurt right now.
Trump announced he was running 4 weeks after the election. Yeah, he announced it, but I feel like there was this lull. I feel like there was this time for a couple of years where people weren't actually sure if he was running again. And then I feel like it picked up again. Like when DeSantis and Nikki Haley were announced, Trump hadn't quite exploded back on the scene yet. That's what it felt like, but I could be wrong.
Newsom strategy. Look, he gets credit. It's sort of like when you I used to call them Circle 60s when I was in high school. It meant you got an F, but we're going to give you a Circle 60, which allowed you to pass the course. And I think he's getting a Circle 60.
We're learning a lot about Sean today.
Yeah.
What does a Circle 60 mean? How would that allow you to pass the course? What does that mean?
You might want to look at those transcripts. But he's getting a Circle 60. And what do I mean by that? This is the teacher would say to me, okay, you came to class, you tried, you just failed the test. So I'm going to give you credit for showing up and participating. And I give credit to him for participating. He's out there, he's trying to do it. But the fundamental thing that's so interesting in his strategy is
60 is a D. Oh, okay. 69 and below was an F, I guess, for the schools that I went to. Are you against paper ballots? No?
Is this. Most Democrats find Trump's tactics abhorrent. So if you find the tactics abhorrent and then your goal is to emulate them, it's sort of like, I think he may get plaudits from a lot of the DC insider beltway pundit class and reporters, but I have a hard time believing that people who are going to go to a caucus in Iowa or Nevada are going to find this enjoyable. Or the people.
But I mean, I think he's mocking it. Like he's not actually embracing it. Like this is my new bit.
Right, I get it, but I just think that if you don't like the behavior in the first place, somebody who's then doing it, I get why he's doing it to troll him, but I think that it's hard to say, oh, what Trump's doing is so wrong, I'm just going to do it back at him.
Except there's one other difference besides the fact that it's meant to be performance art rather than whatever it is that President Trump does. He's only targeting the president. He's not making fun of other people so far.
Well, he made fun of Scott Bressler. JD Vance.
Sorry, to be clear, he's making fun of Republican politicians. He's not going after other entities. And maybe he will, but the mean thing is he's a combatant. He's on the field. He's a combatant. So I'm just saying the Democrats like the fact that it's mockery of people who are Trump and Trump associates.
I think you're splitting hairs there, Halperin. That's who Trump goes after. He's not picking random private citizens to attack. He attacks people who attack him.
How could you say that? Especially when Megyn Kelly was one of the people attacked by Trump, and she didn't even do anything that bad to her. She just asked him questions in a debate. Remember that reporter, the one with cerebral palsy or whatever, that brutally and viciously attacked Trump? What a weird thing for her to say. Jesus.
He went after Taylor Swift because Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. He wasn't picking citizens to attack. He attacks people who attack him.
He attacks people who attack him.
He went after Taylor Swift because Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Okay. All right. Cool.
He wasn't picking on her for no reason.
But those aren't political pros. I just telling you what some Democrats. What some Democrats don't like is he's spraying the whole country, anybody who he wants to attack, rather than political combatants. I'm just saying, to me, that's why some Democrats can justify it.
But Megyn, I wouldn't underestimate, of all the candidates we talked about in 2028, who else has drawn fire from Stephen Chung and all these different people in the White House? They're taking the bait. They're elevating Newsom to an equal that we feel like when you speak, we need to go after you. And if you're Newsom now,
Trump does that with everyone.
Well, sure, but you think about it this way.
With everyone? I thought we just said he only does it to the people that attack him or whatever, but maybe she means everyone who attacks him. I mean...
Now, Democrats are going to be asked, you with Newsom or Trump? That is the dynamic Trump used in 2023 when he was getting arrested and all this stuff. You with me or are you with Nancy Pelosi and, Joe Biden? So it is elevating Newsom. Again, you got to win the primary to get to the general. It's smart. He's separating himself.
Back here to Joe Scarborough in 29B.
You're trying to do everything to distract the American people from the fact that you're screwing up on job one. And job one is helping working Americans and helping the middle class afford their lives and build a life where their children are going to live better than them. That's the American dream. And you have done nothing but play.
What was this interview? Was this yesterday? Jesus Christ.
Politics over the past year. It's really not that hard to do. We'll see. Cut and paste. It's really not hard to do. Gavin Newsom, he wants to own Donald Trump. He wants to be Donald Trump light. You can't be Donald Trump light. Hey, Gavin, talk into the camera and talk about making life more affordable.
Like, what do you think Gavin has been doing for the past several months? I feel like he's been fighting the Trump admin on so much crazy. There was the ICE takeover stuff. There was the fighting over like FEMA funds for the wildfires in California. Like, support for Governor Gavin Newsom as a possible Democratic presidential candidate in 2028 has surged over the past 4 months. A new poll shows Newsweek reached out to Newsom via email for comment after normal business hours. I'm so curious, how much engagement do these ads actually get? What do you think they pay these websites? How many people click on any of these 50 million random things that pop up on the screen? A poll published by Echelon Insights in April had Newsom only in 6th place with 4%, behind former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a New York Democrat, with 7%. Harris was again in 1st place with 28. In the new poll, Buttigieg was 3rd place with 11, AOC in 4th place with 6 points. I'm guessing this was the one just referenced on the... Oh, no, this is a different one. There's no world where Kamala would ever run in 2028, right? I don't think that would ever happen. Why? I don't know. Do people normally, besides Trump, do people normally run for president twice in a row like that after losing one time? Bernie? It's like doing multiple primaries is fine, but if you're like the nominee and then you lose in the general, do people normally run again after that? Bro, why are we talking about the next presidential election already? We aren't even at the midterms yet. I don't know. I think it's cringe. I said this a million times. I usually ban people who ask me.
For a little over...
Oh, God. Okay. Just had to spiritually collect myself.
A week now, California Governor Gavin Newsom has been posting in the style of President Donald Trump. And he's getting a lot of admiration for it. So, he's basically engaging in this trolling campaign, and he's been very successful with it on X. Many of those posts have actually racked up tens of thousands of likes. And look, it does play well in the paradigm of left versus right.
Sorry, hold on. What? Breaking, and another stunning embarrassment for Gavin Newsom. The chairman of Bed Bath & Beyond announces they will not open any retail stores in California. We're taking a stand because it's time for common sense. The reasoning: high taxes, high fees, forced, unsustainable wages. They quote tweeted this: after their bankruptcy and closure of every store, like most Americans, we thought Bed Bath & Beyond no longer existed. We wish them well in their efforts to become relevant again as they try to open a second store. Wait. Triggered, lashed out, deleted. Typical of a Newsom nerd. Quote tweet, you buy. We never posted this fake screenshot, but it is funny, LOL. Holy sh.
You see politics as team sports and nothing more than tribal politics. You want your side to own the other side, troll the other side, to own the libs, to own the right. That's what this feeds into. It has nothing to do with substance. It has nothing to do with how much of a circus California has been under the leadership of Gavin Newsom. It has everything to do with getting brownie points for trolling the other side. So with that in mind, he wrote the following recently. So Governor Newsom press office on X, that's the account that we're talking about, began posting in the same type of tone that you would expect from Donald Trump, all caps. You get the picture. Let's take a look. Again, this is all caps. Donald Trump, if you do not stand down, we will...
This is all caps, guys. It's very important that you know that it is all caps.
...be forced to lead an effort to redraw the maps in California to offset the rigging of maps in red states. So obviously this has to do with the redistricting attempts in Texas, which will probably go through. But if the other states call off their redistricting efforts, we will do the same. Thank you for your attention to this matter with an exclamation mark. Okay, so he's making fun of Trump when he posts in all caps. As you can see, that got 96,000 likes. All right.
Yeah, we need more tweets about Palestine. Newsom, Palestine, please. Why is he talking about the genocide? How can you talk about Bed Bath & Beyond when there's a bloodbath and I can't make that rhyme. When there's a genocide going on, okay?
Let's go to the next one. In the days since, the account has continued to write in Trump-inspired ways. Final warning, Donald Trump. Maybe the most important warning in history. Stop cheating or California will redraw the maps. And guess who will announce it this week? Gavin Newsom. Many say the most loved. I can't repeat that. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, the most loved.
She was laughing. She was laughing. You know she was laughing. And she had to wipe her face real quick. She's like
the maps. And guess who will announce it this week? Gavin Newsom. Many say the most loved. I can't repeat that. Do you want to read?
Wait. Is her staff laughing too? Do we hear laughers in the background? Hold on.
Most love. I can't repeat that. Do you want to read it?
Yeah. You can hear it. Oh, Jesus.
The most loved and handsome governor and a very powerful team. Don't make us do it. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Mm-hmm. And then there was another one. This one is kind of funny.
Oh no, it's too much.
It's so random. I hate Kid Rock. Gavin Christopher Newsom, which is GCN. Anyway, so that account is also taking some time to dunk on other conservatives. So on Saturday, Tommy Lahren wrote the following. The saddest thing about this is Gavin and his team of beta males, I mean, 2016 called, they want your, lingo, they want their lingo back, but okay, who sit down to pee, actually think they're trolling the president, and actually think this is making Gavin look like a badass. You got to feel for those California boys. I don't know if it's the weed or the gender neutral bathrooms, but something is wrong over there.
Oh, gender neutral, oh, trans, oh,
to which Newsom's press office responded with, Tommy's account is basically Yelp for toilets now. Okay, fine, that is pretty funny.
Okay. So no, I'm definitely in favor of it.
I knew it. I know. But Jay,
no.
If this was happening, if this was coupled with a politician of substance who really is killing it,
what more could you possibly want than trying to redistrict his state for more seats in the House of Representatives? Like, this is like the hardest a governor can do, short of civil war. What else do you want? What do you want?
With his leadership, okay, I'm totally in favor of it. But what this does is it masks his failures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried about, I just want someone that I can back, someone I can support, someone who actually wants to change things for the better in this country. And Gavin Newsom ain't it. I'm just keeping it real, okay. Democrats. I know you guys want a hero. He's not your hero, trust me. But anyway, go ahead, Jake.
All right, so that's why we're asking it on TYT.com. Would you support Gavin Newsom for Democratic nominee for president? Yes, I like that he's fighting for us.
I love this audience so much. I love you guys.
B, and no, I think he's a phony. C, no establishment Democrat is a guaranteed loss.
True. We need to go way outside of the box. Oh my God. Okay, even I wouldn't have guessed the Young Turks was, well, although, wait, this is like 15 votes. Never mind, okay. Jesus.
Okay, so that's the one that's winning right now. Okay, guys, look, so here's my nuanced opinion on this. I like what he's doing here. I think it's relatively effective. No, I don't think it's beta. No, I don't think he sits when he...
There's nothing wrong with sitting when you pee. Please don't splash your urine all over.
No, but that's what's so funny about it, because I have I'm neutral on that issue. I couldn't care less. But like for them, that's like a thing. Like real men spray the whole bathroom, okay? Like not these weak beta males that are like respectful of others. No, I pee all over the bathroom. Okay. All right. Good for you. You seem very manly. Okay. Anyway, can't wait for it to get to women. All right. So look, bottom line is this is style. And I had two different complaints about Democrats throughout these 20 years, some odd years that we've been doing the show, right? One is style. Like they were like, let's be civil. I speak 6 languages. And you weren't going to win that way, and we were right about that. So now this is the establishment Democrats surrendering and saying, yes, Young Turks was right. It's better to actually fight back, be aggressive, and yes, sometimes be playful, sometimes get in the dirt. Oh, well, I wouldn't want to spoil your elitist French laundry clothes, right? So now he's realizing, I got to get in the mud a little bit, right? So great, I'm happy to get that. Now the second part's even more important, substance, right?
Yes.
So now that's where I believe that Gavin Newsom is just, as I told you guys after the election, they're going to take all these corporate robots in for, to clean up, right? A refresher. So they're like, okay, now computing. I am now troll Gavin. Ha, you are a beta. Ha, I will write in caps. Okay, I hear you, brother. But actions speak louder than words.
Your state has the highest unemployment rate in the entire country.
It's like 5.5%. It's also the most prosperous state in the entire country. There's nothing that California can do right. Like, does California have problems? Sure. But like, compared to who? Like, who is their model? Because for conservatives, it's Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. Like, are these the states that California needs to be more similar to? Like, what?
Not kidding. California is tied with Nevada for the highest percentage of unemployed Americans. The state is struggling under his leadership. I'm not making it up, and I'm not like, oh, Anna's a secret alt-right winger, and she's actually, nefariously against the Democrats. No, I live in California. I have experienced his terrible leadership, and by the way, the Liberal Patriot, I think it's Liberal Patriot. I should know. Yeah, the Liberal Patriot, who I'm a paid subscriber to, because I actually really appreciate his nuanced takes. He wrote a piece.
Wait, who's the Liberal Patriot? Do I know who this is? The Liberal Patriot. John Halpin, Substack. Can I not just like go to the thing? Oh wait, X. The progressive movement is over. The shattering of the Democratic coalition. The Democrats' Hispanic voter problem. The Fox News fallacy. The hills the left will die on. The sad tale of moderate Joe Biden. Oh my God. The Fox News fallacy is having a dire effect on many Democrats. This is the idea that if Fox News, substitute here the conservative bête noire of your choice you prefer, criticizes the Democrats for X, then there must be absolutely nothing to X, and the job of Democrats is to assert that loudly and often. Okay, so this is just a conservative guy, I guess? Maybe? I don't know. Oh.
Piece recently that I thought was fantastic. Democrats can do better than Gavin Newsom, and he explains why. Okay, so actually Michael Baharine is the individual who wrote this piece. Democrats would do well not to allow their anger at Trump to get the better of them, to not simply back a candidate with many of his own vulnerabilities just because he is willing to throw punches at Republicans. A polling tracker from Decision Desk HQ showed his national favorability deeply underwater at the end of the year. Fully 49.2% of Americans viewed him unfavorably against just 27% who viewed him favorably.
I mean, is that so surprising? Like, I feel like if you hear anything about Newsom, it's usually just people attacking him or on him prior to this year, right? This is in the beginning of January. I wonder if they show a more recent one.
And by the way, these people are accurate, okay? It wasn't long ago that he, against just 2070, deeply underwater at the end of the, a polling tracker from Decision Desk HQ showed his national favorability deeply underwater at the end of the year. Fully 49.2% of Americans viewed him unfavorably against just 27% who viewed him favorably. And by the way, these people are accurate, okay? It wasn't long ago that he was struggling at home as well, back in June, without Trump serving as a clear foil for him. A poll from UC Irvine put Newsom's approval rating at only 38%. Moreover, okay, 54% of Californians in that survey, including a sizable majority of independents and even a small plurality of Democrats, believe Newsom was more focused on his presidential ambitions than on fixing the state, because it's just demonstrably true that that's been the case. So look, I get it. Like, Democratic voters like desperately want a leader to the opposition to Donald Trump. I totally get that. I get that urge. At the same time, we need to tread carefully, because if there's this effort to uplift a guy who's been a complete and utter failure in the state of California, he is very vulnerable, by the way. He is a target-rich environment. The trolling is fun, but how about opt for someone who has substance, ideas, and can also do the trolling on top of it?
Yeah. So look, let me address this up just a little bit and then get back to Gavin as candidate. So number one, we spent $24 billion on addressing homelessness in California, and homelessness went up 53%. So, I mean, and when you ask him where's the money, he's like, but it's an offensive question. California and homelessness went up. Back to Gavin as candidate. So number one, we spent $24 billion on addressing homelessness in California, and homelessness went up 53%. So, I mean, and when you ask him where's the money, he's like, but it's an offensive question.
Unaccounted for.
No, not offensive. We need to know what you spent the money on, because it obviously didn't work. So we don't want to go back in that direction. We have to have lessons learned. He doesn't believe in accountability. How much money did you take from PG&E, and did it affect your decision not to force them to to bury their wires. That is the #1 cause of wildfires in California.
Yeah.
So these are real to force them to have lessons learned. He doesn't believe in accountability. How much money did you take from PG&E, and did it affect your decision not to force them to bury their wires? That is the #1 cause of wildfires in California.
Yeah.
So these are real things, guys. And so we're not picking on Gavin.
Is there the contention here is that they're saying that he took money from PG&E, which I'm guessing is some utility company, and then allowed them to not bury their wires as a result of taking money from them? Why? Is Gavin hurting for money that much that he wants to condemn his state to wildfire hell just to have a little bit more in his but okay.
Gavin Newsom randomly, what we have seen throughout his career is he works for the donor class, right? So Gavin 1.0.
What?
Guys, I think it's the donor class.
Was basically codename French Laundry,
Yep.
right? So that's a fancy restaurant in California where he met with the donors unmasked during COVID while he was doing mask mandates, okay? Okay, the hypocrisy is an important part of that story,
That's
but
the
to me,
donor
the more important
class.
part is he'll do anything for donors, right? And so
The
then Gavin
donor
2.0, if you
class.
remember, in the beginning was MAGA friendly. Like he was copying people like us, but without any of the substance. So when we went to go talk to, whether it was Charlie Kirk or Patrick McDavid or Tim Pool or eventually Tucker Carlson, Glenn Beck, et cetera, what we did was we tried to find common ground on the left-wing issues.
Exactly.
No, you didn't find common ground on any left-wing issues. You just found common ground on anti-establishment issues. That's why every single time Jen goes in front of an audience, remember with Charlie Cook, he's like, well, yeah, guys, I agree with you on A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, blah, 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 blah. Don't you guys kind of agree with me like on Z, though? And they're all like, boo! And he's like, oh, fuck.
Right, anti-war, anti-corruption, et cetera. So we fight on the things we don't agree on, but if you're coming in our direction, as Marjorie Taylor Greene, for example.
Oh, anti-corruption is a left-wing issue. That's right, because the right is pro-corruption? What?
Did and Tucker Carlson did on the issue of Israel,
Right.
Then great, we're happy. Epstein files, et cetera. You come in our direction, we're very happy, right? But Gavin, since he was just like computing, he's like, Steve Bannon, let us have a friendly dialogue. I will not challenge you on anything. But brother, no, you're not getting it. So then they took him back to the shop. Now we have Gavin 3.0, which is Trump fighter. I'll troll him right back. But don't you see the transition one after another? So who's the real Gavin Newsom? So guys, keep your eye on the prize. Who passed bills? So why were we so excited about Tim Walz? I don't think he got a fair hearing in this presidential run, and I don't know if he's the right guy going forward. But the reason I was excited and why I'd consider him again is because he passed a lot of good bills in Minnesota that helped the average citizen in Minnesota. That matters.
Yeah.
That's what's important. When you ask Gavin Newsom, I don't know where the money went. I don't know why we have a bad record. I don't know why there's so many wildfires.
That's
I'm not
my
going to tell you what the
donor
checks
class
I take from PG&E
right there.
or for many of
That's
my
what's
donors.
going on.
So like I like this stuff. Last thing on this. They're like, we got to vote for Gavin Newsom because he's the only Democrat fighting back. I'm like, wait, why aren't other Democrats fighting back? Why is the party so pathetic?
Dude, nothing is good enough for these people. Like, there's not, you understand, right? There's literally nothing you can do.
They found one guy and they're like, oh, someone decided to fight the other side, as if that's like some sort of big revelation. Should you all be fighting the other side? And by the way, of course there are others. Ro Khanna fights them way more effectively.
Oh, Ro Khanna and Bernie Sanders and maybe AOC, although we might not like her anymore.
He doesn't get a quarter of the credit, and that's because mainstream media loves corporate candidates like Gavin Newsom. Every
That's
time you ring
my
the bell,
donor
hello,
class
and he will get
right
some-
Mainstream
there.
media.
Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows. The donor class.